right.
You
Well,
said blood.
yeah. Ready? Ready?
Do we look extra wide doing it like this?
Problem. All right, take 6. Well, we come back to Caleb's house, and Caleb had to go pick up his oldest son from ball game. So while I was waiting on him, I was reviewing the footage that we took in the field from the outro, and I was like, yeah, that's terrible. So Caleb gets out of the truck, and he's like, man, there's so much more I wanted to say, and I didn't. I was like, I was thinking the same thing, so let's redo this. So, and talking about the outro, it ain't really about the hunt itself. There's just things that, we want to put out there and we want to say, let people kind of know who we are, who they're watching, what this channel's about. I don't think we've explained that very well. So,
In our background, it sucks right now. We got a garage door halfway down to block out 90-mile-an-hour winds howling out here.
yeah, we had a terrible storm blow through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida last night. And first and foremost, we want, if anybody's watching, we seen this morning when we woke up, and storm had passed through our area, but there was a lot of neighbors, local communities, Panhandle of Florida, down that way that just got absolutely hammered, and people lost homes and lost their businesses, and so we want to make sure everybody knows that we're thinking about you, praying for you, and I know at a time like that it's hard to think, but everything in this world can be rebuilt. So
Absolutely.
we lost the shooting house to it, and one we had spent a lot of time on, a lot of effort, and Caleb FaceTimed me, and it was just all kind of twisted up, and we was a little down in the dumps about that, but then you think back about what other people lost during that, you're like, man, this shooting house ain't nothing.
No, absolutely not. In the grand scheme of things, that's easily replaceable.
Yep. There's a lot of people out there right now just trying to figure out where they're going to sleep tonight, and here we are trying to figure out how we're going to do an outro with a buck between us. So we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're doing pretty good. But one thing I thought about on the way here is I hope everybody understands that the filming it's tough. Like today, Caleb this is his first self film.
Successful
Yeah.
self-film.
And really the first year that I would say you and I together, I've been filming a long time, definitely far from professional, but that you've got really in depth with it. Mm-hmm. So it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve trying to learn the equipment. We upgraded one camera, the one we're filming on now. But some of our equipment's old. The camera he was filming with today was 10, 12 years old. It was my wife's years ago.
So on a $20 tripod.
Yeah, on the Amazon tripod. So, please just, we ask that when you're watching this, bear with us in the fact that we're trying our best to put stuff out there, good, clean content that, you wouldn't mind your kids watching, and bring the fun back to hunting. There's so many platforms out there now that it's all about size of a deer, the age of a deer.
That's what's
you just go on and on. Yeah. You just go on and on about what the hunting industry is putting quotations at standards you got to meet, and I'm sorry, but that's not hunting. That's not who we're ever going to be.
No.
Whether we stay where we're at right now, with luckily Facebook, we got several thousand followers on there, brand new to YouTube, but we're never going to be that.
No, we're going to keep it real.
Yeah, this is what hunting's about. We got a 3-year-old 8-point laying between us that I'm sure somewhere along this video people's either turned off or done hit the nasty grams on the comments, but you know what? I don't care. We killed a 5.5-year-old deer bow season. Caleb's first bow kill, first deer going to lost 5.5-year-old deer. And we do our part. We want to see deer reach maturity. We want to see deer meet what their genetic capabilities are.
Absolutely.
We don't just shoot anything that walks in front of us, but with certain scenarios like today, Caleb's seen from his neck up,
And the way he presented looked mature. Standing.
Come to a grunt call, come to a bleat call. He come in like a mature buck would. Young deer do too, but a lot of times young deer, if you've been hunting long enough, you've seen it, they come in wide open, ain't paying attention to nothing. This buck kind of, you see the footage kind of stood back, and just had the mature deer characteristics, and Caleb had to make a good call to what to do, and it turns out it was a 3-year-old deer. But you know what? We just as thankful for him as if he was 6.5 and whatever points he had.
Absolutely. I feel blessed to have had the opportunity to take
Yep.
it.
I mean, you got to think, man. There's a lot of people that's been hunting years that's never. They would love to kill this deer,
Absolutely.
But one thing we stopped and thought when we got here, I was like, we're brand new on YouTube, and that's the platform we're really pushing right now. I'm like, a lot of people don't know who they're watching, don't know us. And, we want to be that channel, that platform where somebody can come to that you don't have to feel ashamed for anything about yourself, for what you're hunting, for what you've killed, for your faults. I mean, my God, we all got them, and if all these platforms out there now, and I'm not calling anybody specific. I'm just saying social media in general has put so much pressure on people, young people. I mean, I'm 28 years old. You're
I'm 31.
Yeah, 31. I mean, we still wet behind the ears in this thing, but I'm very thankful I know our roots and where we come from is very similar, and the things we appreciate that this world don't no more. This country don't no more, and we want to be one place that still has good morals, good values, and we're putting out something that you don't mind anybody in your household to watch, whether it's you as an adult or your kid. And we want to encourage kids to get out there. I think there's so many platforms there now that put so many expectations on hunting and the hunting industry that everyday people like us that's not in the Midwest, that's not in Mississippi Delta, that's not hunting prime land, you can't never meet that expectation. So you got a lot of people turn from it, or they don't put what they kill on Facebook, or
Almost ashamed of it.
Yeah.
You should never be ashamed of it. If it excited you, take it, enjoy it.
And it don't matter what this is. This right here means absolutely nothing. I mean, whether it's a spike disc or that deer sitting there this wide and 180 inches, if it makes you happy, pull the trigger.
And it's legal.
Yeah, and it's legal. Let the arrow fly, pull the trigger, whatever it is you're doing. You got a lot of people just down gun hunting. It's like it's got to the point on social media. It's like you can't do nothing right.
No.
You always go to any platform right now, Facebook especially, on these groups, and people post a deer, and they're excited because they put it out there to have a conversation with other people. And the first thing you do is you start seeing putting the nasty grams on there and commenting why they shouldn't have done this or why they shouldn't have done that.
How they do things better.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncalled for. I mean, y'all come on. There's a lot bigger problems in this world to be worried about than if somebody shot a 3-year-old versus a 4-year-old.
Absolutely.
But as for us, like I said, what we want to give people is the platform where you can come and be yourself.
That's right.
Comment, be yourself. And even the ones that's going to leave hateful comments because they're going to, or dislike the videos, that's fine. You got your opinion, and we respect that too. But at the same time, respect what we're trying to do. But one thing that hit me on the way here, and I don't really know how to put it in words. Sometimes you just feel things, and it may just be for yourself. But I was thinking in my mind, we need to redo this outro. That the field outro was bad, and it kind of hit me. I'm like, our outro tonight, or any of our videos outros, could be an intro for somebody else to something.
That's right.
Whether it's just what we said already about don't be ashamed of what you're taking, or whatever you're dealing with in life, or you're ashamed of faults that you got personally. We want to connect with you. We want people to know who they're watching, and we want people to come to this channel not to see how big of a deer we killed, or a turkey, or a pig. We want people to come to where they feel like they got somebody to talk to, and we want to interact with the people that's watching us.
Absolutely.
And as for me personally, and I'm sure Caleb can elaborate on his behalf too, but I struggle every day. I mean, every human being does. I think if you're trying to be better, you're trying to be a good person, especially in the world we live in, it's a struggle. It's a struggle every single day, to fight your flesh, to fight, who this world wants you to be. And it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of time and a lot of effort, to have a relationship with the only one that can fix that. And kind of look at it, my dad's always told me when it comes to, church or relationship with the good Lord, he said, my wife, her name's Ashley, and he asked me, so how good a relationship would you and Ashley have if y'all talk once a week?
Not very good with you.
You know, or if you said goodnight and thank you, 5 minutes before you went to bed every day. He said, how good a relationship you gonna have? You know, you don't really think about it like that until you put it in a real life, perspective, and it's like, not a good one.
No.
So that's something I've really been working on myself is really opening that book, and, it's kind of surreal because we're sitting here, talking about something that's dead, talking about a dead animal, and what hunting is typically always about, but it also opens, this dead deer right here opens the door for us to talk about something that's living, that'll always be living, and our only chance and only hope to get out of this world alive.
That's right. I mean, we need to have a personal relationship with them.
Yep. And I think hunting outside of this, you take this deer out the back of this truck, hunting in itself, whether you ever seen a deer or a turkey or a pig, there's so many things that you see that's active in the woods that you can relate from. I was thinking the other day, Caleb and I was sitting on the river. One of the last bow hunts we done, we was sitting on the ground on the edge of the river. And I remember looking behind me. I didn't think about it then. I thought about it later on. But I looked down the river and I noticed how the current of the river was flowing just as nice and easy. And you seen limbs and leaves and debris, just flowing right down the straightaway. But there's a curve, in a bend right up the stream there, and I noticed just how many log jams was there and trash built up. And it kind of hit me later on. I'm like, that relates a lot to life. It's easy. Everybody flows real good when the current's running good. When you're on a straight path, everything's easy. You really don't have any bumps in the road. But everybody's life and anything in this world, there's always going to be a bend. There's always going to be a curve. There's going to be a roadblock. And that's something that's so small, but it's so big at the same time, because the woods and hunting and fishing, you see those things. But I think we get so busy in life that we're not still enough to see them a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I feel close to God in church, without a doubt. But when I'm out in nature, I feel just as close to God. Mm-hmm. You can see Him everywhere.
And that's one thing I struggle with the most. I will never ever be against church. I grew up in church, but you got a lot of people that thinks you got to be in that building with a pretty steeple on top to find Him. And this world now puts God in a shoebox. And I'm sorry, but I'll be the first one to say He's with me every day. Through my faults, through my wrongs, through my imperfections, He is with me. And I think you can find Him by yourself sitting on a riverbank just as easy as you can on your face at an altar.
That's right.
So if you're not a churchgoer, or you're not, if you're fighting that publicly, you can find Him if you look for it. Just like I found the little message on the river. It's very little, but it's so significant. And I don't really know why we're doing this right now. This is not our typical outro, but it's been weighing on me real heavy that this platform and people needed to hear this, need to know who we are, what we're doing. And for me personally, it's kind of a step of faith, I guess you could say, because locally, nobody's going to support you in anything you do, no matter if it's us or anybody else. You got your local enemies, and they always going to hold over your head who you used to be, or who you was yesterday, or who we think he is up there saying all this, But, the good Lord, if you read the Bible, He used all kind of stuff. He used a donkey. And I may not be worth as a lot of people out there, but I'm worth a lot more than a donkey. So, if He can use a donkey, He can use me with my imperfections.
I can probably relate to the donkey.
But we want to take a minute and just be still in the moment. I for one live a very fast lifestyle with my occupation, traveling, just life in general. It's a very fast-paced life. It's a fast-paced world we live in now, and you got to either run with it or you get left behind.
Dang right.
But and even in that right there, this world will leave you behind. But good Lord won't. And that again, y'all, if you don't take anything out of this, we got one chance to get out of this thing alive, and there's only one way to get out of it alive. So if you don't take anything, take that.
Absolutely.
But
Look, and out in nature, that is kind of your escape from this fast-paced life.
it is.
I always really enjoy being out there and just getting away from everything, because it is always hectic and you always feel like you're under the gun or always under attack. But you can break away from all that out in the woods.
And the harder you try, the more attacks is gonna come. I can promise you, we have been through it lately, you know, all the way around, from hunting to, this year's it's been one of the best years we've ever had, but it's been one of the most struggle bus years too. I mean, Caleb's sitting here now, tagged out man, and I'm over here thumping the mold off mine. I ain't got to use one yet, but you know what? It doesn't matter. If I don't kill deer this season, you know, being out here and, you know, like he said a while ago, and this is no, because he's done the same for me last year. But, you know, just having somebody you can call that you know is going to pick up the phone, and whether it's to come load a deer or you need help or you just need to talk, you got somebody to call. A lot of people don't have that. You know, and that's one thing I'm thankful for is outside of family that I do have what a lot of people don't have, one true friend that I can call and do stuff like this with, you know.
Absolutely. And get a lot of enjoyment out of it too.
Yeah. We have a lot of bloopers, but trust me, we're always laughing through it. But anyway, we thank y'all for watching as always. We hope whatever hour of the day or night you're watching this that it does something for you, whether it's on the hunting aspect or it's just life in general. You know, again, we're young and we ain't got a drop in the bucket in this thing yet, but I think no matter what age we are, we want to be better today than we was yesterday.
That's right.
So thank y'all for watching. Hopefully we're going to keep them rolling out there. And
Hopefully Hayden's going to keep one rolling out now.
Yeah, you done. You're done. You full-time camera, you're hired.
That's right.
You're hired and then you filed an
You got the best
application.
cameraman there ever was.
All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for watching. God bless y'all. And hunt 'em, pull the trigger, sling the arrow, and don't worry about what other people think.
All right, we got to go get a deer.